In today's session, we want to look at total quality management. Now, the only difference between what we saw before and what we're going to see now is the word total. When we consider the word total, all we're just saying is we don't want to consider or manage quality in a holistic sense, where it would consider every aspect of the organization. We're going to look at quality from top to bottom. I'm pretty sure we've all experienced some instances where you go to a certain organization. When you get into the hall or where the service is actually rendered, the staff there are really nice and they treat you and you feel very, okay. You kind of judge their services as okay. You get to the gate and the security personnel is so rude. That is not total quality management. In that case, quality is just being managed in some aspects of the organization. Now, if any organization is supposed to perform excellently quality-wise, then it would have to consider quality as an all-involved or all-inclusive activity, where every aspect of the organization, every person involved in any aspect, in any activity in the organization is involved in the quality management process. And so we'll look at some types of variations in quality, and then we'll go ahead. Now, under total quality management, there are principles. Leadership is really key to ensuring that quality is ensured in the entire organization. So we'll see total quality management principles. We'll see how it differs slightly from what we saw in the previous system. Having just a quality management system is not enough to ensure quality holistically. Otherwise, you would see that some aspects of the organization would be performing very well or excellently on quality, whilst other ones would be suffering quality-wise. But you should understand that one nut spoils the whole soup. And like I said before, quality for a service or services is so peculiar because services are produced and consumed at the same time. And so once anything goes off, it is bad. Now, there are two primary sources of process improvement. Now, if you really want to improve on quality, you try and eliminate some things we call, variations. Or let's say, in a common sense, we'll call them common causes of quality problems. Now, these we'll call them variabilities that are embedded in the system or the process itself. When we look at the elimination of common causes, now there are certain issues or certain things that would result into poor quality that we can accept or we can consider as acceptable. Now let's take let's say a crude example. And now on the average, a worker gets to work in the week always around 7 a.m., sometimes 7:15, other times 6:45. So you'd see that on the average we can say that there's always a plus or minus of 15 minutes. Then one day the worker pops up at work at 11 a.m. Obviously, you would see that there's going to be a big difference, or there's going to be a different approach to this situation. Coming to work at 7:15 or 7:10, 7:12, 7:20 is not the same as coming out. And so there are certain variations that we can consider as common and as normal. And so those ones, we refer to those as the common causes of quality problem. These are, so removing these common causes variably usually means changing the process. Now, only management can specify and implement the change. So, for instance, I said previously that under total quality management, leadership is key to ensuring quality is implemented, is adopted in the entire organization. So how do we ensure this? Now, I want to take the last point again so we make sense of what is beneath it. It says that only management can specify and implement the change. And so if management themselves are not more into quality, or not that committed to the quality, then obviously issues are going to be a little kind of, not as we want them to be. So poor product design, insufficient training. If we have to ensure that there is good design we have to be committed to ensuring there's good design. If we have to ensure that quality is ensured in the entire organization, there must be sufficient training for everyone, not just some part or some employees who probably may be considered as most important, but everyone. Now, we can also ensure, or like you said, we can also improve on our process when we eliminate special or assignable courses. There are certain things that happen out of the blue, and then you do notice that, no, this is not usual. So like the example I was saying, in the former case, we said there are common causes of variation. Now these common causes, like I was saying, a worker is supposed to come and work at 7 a.m., but sometimes he comes up to 7:15, 7:12, 7, it's okay. But for the worker to pop out at work at, let's say, 11 a.m., that is unusual. That is way out of reach. And so in that case, it's rational to assume that there should be something peculiar that resulted in that worker coming to work at 11. It's probably there could have been a broken vehicle in the road, or the road was shut, or something. Maybe an emergency occurred. You see, so when that happens, we say that that is a special course or an assignable course. And it happens in businesses as well, in production, I mean. So we say that normally for assignable courses, they usually arise from external source. For example, a broken tool or jumped machine could be, so we're producing, and all of a sudden we have a huge number of defective items. That we really need to look, and so you trace it back and you see probably it was a particular one, but you can have a certain acceptable level of deviation from the norm, and we wouldn't be too alarmed about it. But for assignable courses, it's a really big cause for alarm. And so removing assignable courses involves eliminating that specific problem, and that could be a specific equipment or probably a specific operator, maybe some lack of seriousness or some sluggish behavior resulted into something happening. Now in ensuring this, we can, Edward Deming again promoted this using something in his, what we call the Deming's 14 points. He listed 14 major points in quality, total quality management, very useful in ensuring these things. You can look it up in the recommended text and will be very helpful. Now, what is the emphasis of total quality management? Now, top management's role in leading a total quality effort on which all employees at all levels must focus. You see, so I said before that in total quality management, leadership is key. Now, think about it in a work environment. How can an employee come to work at 9 a.m. when the manager is always at work by 7? It would be difficult. You see, so you do see that when leadership is leading by example, every other person would follow. So it says that a top management's role in leading a total quality effort in which all employees at all levels must follow. If leadership is that committed to ensuring that quality is achieved at all times, then it's obvious that everyone will follow. Now, all employees are responsible for continuous quality improvement, and so quality improvement is not only for a certain unit, let's say some quality assurance unit or quality unit. It's an entire organization approach to ensuring quality. Quality is the focal point of all organizational functions. And so you do notice that every activity, everything that we engage, or every activity engaged in by an employee in the organization must be geared towards ensuring quality. So quality becomes a focal point of all organizational functions. And also quality is a strategic issue. So TQM emphasizes that quality must be seen as a strategic issue. It should be seen from the top. It should be part of the agenda of top management all the time. Now, what are the principles of total quality management? So that the customer defines quality, and customer satisfaction should be our top priority. That is the first principle. Look at quality from the customer's perspective and make sure that whatever quality approaches or quality efforts we are making are all geared towards meeting the customer's specification or customer's definition of what quality is, not we the producer or we the production organization's idea of this thing, management. And then top management must provide the leadership for quality. we said that quality is a strategic issue and requires a strategic plan. There must be a laid out strategy as to how we're going to ensure quality in the organization. Now, quality is the responsibility of all levels of organization, employees, all levels, whether at the lower bottom management or shop and floor, whichever level you are, you must contribute your quota to ensure quality in the organization. These are the principles of and then all functions of the company must focus on continuous quality improvement to achieve strategic goals. You do not see, we'll see this in some other, in other slides, that we can get to a point where we'll say we've achieved the highest level in quality. Quality must be ever improvement. And so we must also have a means of ensuring that we are continuously improving on quality at all times. Now, quality problems are solved through cooperation among employees and management. And so, it cannot be like things are done in the jungle, where some people sit at the top of the food chain and others are at the bottom and some do not have a say. No, there must be cooperation. We must all reason together. There must be concurrent reasoning. Now, problem solving and continuous improvement, quality improvement, use statistical quality methods. And so it must come to the point where leadership or the organization must adopt whatever statistical quality control tools or techniques that are suitable for the organization to always help improve or look out for opportunities to improve on quality management. And then training and education of all employees are the basis for continuous quality improvement. Yeah, so you always need to train your employees not only on their functional duties but also on quality issues, how to continually improve on quality. Now, so strategic implications of quality. Now, from what we've seen, the understanding of TQM, its principles, how does it strategically impact on the organization? Now, we're saying that in today's global business environment, companies compete on quality. Like I said earlier, we are moving gradually away from competing on price and advertisement, the traditional modes of competition. Now, companies are competing on quality. You need to churn out something that would consistently meet or exceed the customer's expectation. And so it's become a level playground for everyone. So we organizations must consider quality more seriously if they really want to survive in the current trend of business, or the current age in business. Now, the goals and objectives are also established at all levels, and the means and resources for achieving these goals are provided to employees and managers. So that is again strengthening the idea of leadership commitment or management commitment to ensuring quality. Make improving quality or make ensuring quality easy for organizations, for employees. You must provide the financial resources, you must provide the technical know-how. Even if there are technologies needed, you need to provide them to ensure that quality is improved. Now, there must also be feedback mechanisms to adjust, update, and make corrections to the strategic plan. So as we consider improvement and we consider ensuring quality at all times, we must also have feedback systems, or systems that gives us continuous feedbacks that we can always adjust and improve on the plan all the time. Now, strong leadership is key to successfully integrating quality into the company's strategic plan. Now, trust me, when you're introducing the concept of total quality management into an organization, it doesn't come that easy. Now, you would have to do a lot of issues, a lot of management issues to integrate quality principles into an organization. Otherwise, you would have employee resistance. Now, even managing employee resistance is even one issue that requires strong leadership. So otherwise, I'll share a funny instance where, when a school tried to introduce a biometric system, let's say an electronic check-in system for teaching staff. And interestingly, teachers who probably, arguably should know better, would rather wet their hands and thumbprint the biometric, machine, and rather say that the system is not recognizing their... Now, the point is they were thinking that system is only coming to fish out the loopholes and make life more difficult for them. So you really need to manage these kind of activities so that employees do not revolt against the system, but will rather accept the system. And this takes strong leadership skills.